Okay, today's video is on how to do a compression test on a 1987 Toyota 4Runner 22RE, but this would, I'm sure, apply to 84 through at least 88. I'm making this video for people who don't know how to do anything, because I sometimes feel like people who make these videos know a lot and they take for granted that other people know more than they do. So this video is for people who have no clue what's going on, like me. So if you have the factory service manual, it's a great resource, and it does have the instructions on EM12. But even if you do have it, you know, some people still don't, like I didn't know what a solenoid resistor connector was. I do now, and I'll show you. But yeah, this is just going to be really detailed to hopefully help some people that have never done this before. So it says warm up your engine, remove your spark plugs, disconnect all these connectors. I'm going to disconnect things first before I take the spark plugs out. So this is your resistor. There's two plugs on there. You take those off, and I believe that like disables the fuel pump so you don't spray gas everywhere. So take those apart. Take off your cold start injector connector. Of course, take off your spark plug wires, and all of these will just connect right to your spark plugs, and it's just like a rubber thing. You just pull it off. You're going to disconnect your distributor connection, and then these two, or no, I'm sorry, there's one here. I took that off too. So you've got everything disconnected, and now it says to take out your spark plugs. So that'll be the next step. And I just wanted to demonstrate something here. If you don't have a specific spark plug or socket, I mean, you can try to get away in a pinch with using a deep impact socket, but the reason why it's not as good, I'll show you. The deep impact, you can see, is fatter, thicker, so it might not fit in that little well very good, and you might not be able to grab the threads on the spark plug very well. And the other advantage to having an actual spark plug socket is there's a little rubber stopper inside that will grab the spark plug for you so you don't drop it on the ground. So you just take your wrench with your extension bar and you seat it down on your spark plug, and then you just loosen it. Let's see. I already did this for the most part. And then when you pull it out, your little rubber thing inside your wrench is going to hold onto your spark plug. Look at the end of the spark plug, examine it for any kind of damage or blackened stuff. The other important thing to do is make sure you keep the order of your spark plugs so you know which cylinder you took it out of. This was 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the reason I say to do this is because some of your spark plugs might end up being gunky, like that one. This is from cylinder 4, so you want to know that so you can try to figure out why it's doing that. Now that you have everything disconnected and you have your spark plugs taken apart, you're going to choose, there's instructions for this compression test kit so you can read those, but basically you're just going to choose whichever attachment fits, and I already know that it's this one. You want these threads to be the same size threads as were on your spark plug so it fits tight in the hole. And then you just pick, you would want to go in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 4, 3, 2, 1, whichever, but I'm just doing number 3 because it's easy to reach. You thread this in there until it's tight. And that's pretty good. And then you put your little quick connector on there. And then you're going to have your friend in the driver's seat, and they will crank the engine. And it says in the instructions to do it, crank 8 cycles. I do it until my gauge pressure maxes out. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, it was almost 210 that time. So that's that. I'm gonna have to investigate that because that's too high, but you just push this button and it releases the pressure, and then you can always come over and check your specs. this says max pressure 171, minimum of 142, and you don't want a difference between any two cylinders to be more than 14 psi. And then as you're going along, make sure you write down your data so that you can compare and you don't have to try to remember it. So that's that.